let's talk about rational functions and their operations. Operations being addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. A rational function is essentially just a fraction, but it's a fraction that has variables in it. So let's review what we remember about the just fractions, how to simplify fractions, how to multiply fractions, and so on. So when it comes to simplifying fractions, what you're essentially doing is you're finding common factors, right? So common factors being something that multiply together. So 42 is the same as 7 times 6. 77 is the same as 7 times 11. So we get rid of the common factor because if you look at 7 over 7, that gives you 1. 1 times anything is always going to be itself. Like 1 times 3 is 3, right? So for that reason, we can just get rid of the common factor since it's equal to 1, and it helps us simplify the fraction so that we, in this case, get 6 over 11. So same thing applies when we're simplifying rational functions. Now remember I said that we need to find common factors. So your first thing you're going to want to do is factor, since we need to find common factors. So we're going to go ahead and simplify this. I'm going to factor my greatest common factor out. So I'll take a 3 out of the 3x and the 6. And then I'm going to take a greatest common factor out of 9x squared and 36. I know those are both perfect squares, but they do factor. And there is a greatest common factor, and we're supposed to technically take that out first. So we get x squared minus 4. And then x squared minus 4 is still a perfect difference of perfect squares. So I'm going to factor that, 2x plus 2, x minus 2. And I'm going to move this down here actually. So that's what this is equal to. So in order to simplify this, we are going to go ahead and get rid of common factors. So there's a common factor of x plus 2, so I can get rid of that. But 3 and 9 also have a common factor of 3, so I'm going to divide both of those by 3. So if I divide 3 by 3, I get 1. If I divide 9 by 3, I get 3. The x plus 2's are gone, and I get x minus 2 on bottom. And I'm just going to put that 1 in the center since that kind of looks weird. Oh, it didn't want me to do it. There we go. I'll just erase it. All right, so this would be your answer. However, on your homework, it does ask you to state excluded, not included, but excluded values. That's just a practice remembering that there are excluded values based on the denominator, so it's essentially your domain. So excluded values just tell you to find your domain of your original function. The easiest way to do that is to look at the factored form before we get rid of common factors. And in this case, the domain would be x can't be negative 2, because that's the 0 of that factor, and x can't be positive 2. And that would be the excluded values. All right, let's go ahead and see another one, see how that works. So for this one, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to simplify. I'm going to go ahead and take out greatest common factor of the numerator. So I get x and then 2x squared plus 7x plus 6. Same idea for the denominator. I'm going to take out my greatest common factor. So that's also x. So then you have a 4x squared minus 9. And then we're going to go ahead and factor everything. So the top is a trinomial. So I'll use whatever method. Some of you use like grouping method. Some of you use the method Mrs. Langford taught you last year, and so on. So whatever method that you use to factor trinomials, use it. And we get this from that right there. And then the 4x squared minus 9 is a difference of perfect squares. So I get 2x plus 3 and 2x minus 3. So once again, we're just looking for common factors. And, oops, forgot to switch to a highlighter. That's from there. We're going to just get rid of common factors. So I get rid of the 2x plus 3. I also get rid of the x's. X over x is 1 as well, so those all equal 1. So I end up with just an answer of x plus 2, 2x minus 3, and that is simplified. Now, if you remember though, on your homework, you guys have to state excluded values, so you have to tell me the domain of the original function. So we're trying to figure out what's going to make that equal to 0 because we don't want that to equal 0. So the easiest way to do that is look at your factored form before you get rid of everything and find all the zeros. So if you have just plain old x, it's x can't equal 0. If you have x or 2x plus 3, remember if you're not sure, set it equal to 0 and then solve, or not equal to 0, and you'll get negative 3 over 2 if you solve for x. And then this one will get you positive 3 over 2. So those are the three, and remember the exponent should tell you how many you have on the denominator. We had 3 answers, or 3 excluded values. Let's do one more where we're simplifying. Oh, nope, that's actually it. I lied. So we'll switch over to multiplication division.